Perhaps the biggest milestone in Helium history to date, staking validators are now live. The implementation of these validators will help improve every aspect of the blockchain and will also have some serious implications on HNT token economics. We will go over the 3 largest impacts we expect these validators to have on the network, as well as some of the ways you can get involved today. Hey everybody, welcome back to another video here on the Crypto Compound channel. Please like and subscribe on the way in. In today's video, we are going to be discussing some of the biggest news in the Helium community since inception of the network, and that is staking and validator nodes are live and up and running. This is tremendous news for the community. It is very important for a number of different reasons, even including the price of HNT. This is going to have a significant impact all the way around. In this video, we'll touch on how this changes the network, how it's good for the network, some ways it could be bad for the network, ways to get involved, how it could impact the HNT price, and we'll even touch on if this is a good opportunity maybe to start accumulating some more HNT. And most importantly, why you should care about this implementation. So guys, we're going to run through the 2 pages on the Helium website, a page in the Helium docs validators section. We're going to run through some GitHub stuff. We're going to try to touch on a little bit of everything, big overview of the validators today. We'll dig deeper and deeper in future videos, but this is really exciting stuff, and if you're not aware of what's going on, stay tuned. So as you can see here, stake and become a validator, secure the network, earn HNT. So these validators are doing, it's a new player, a new actor in the Helium ecosystem. So these validators can be set up by a person or by a company and are required to stake, right now are required to stake at least 10,000 HNT to run a validator node. Now the main point of all of this is to have these validator nodes that are responsible for crunching numbers faster on stronger hardware, more reliable hardware with lots of investment in the technology that can validate the blocks and the information and then agree amongst each other and then distribute it to the rest of the network. Now these validators, in doing that, are going to resolve a lot or almost all of the issues that we were seeing in previous weeks with the network slowing, with earnings decreasing. All of those issues now are going to be mitigated and can potentially be eliminated by these validators. There is a lot of investment that goes into opening one of these nodes, and it is highly incentivized for these nodes to function properly. And in the functioning of these nodes, the network is going to run much, much more efficiently and be able to scale extremely fast, much faster than when there were no validators. That is why we were seeing so many of the hiccups and the issues in previous weeks, and they were working hard to address them. However, it's so hard to address them without these central validator nodes with serious computing power, establishing the truth on the network and on the blockchain and distributing that information. So if we look here, the staked amount of 10,000 of a validator remains locked until unstaked. Now this, when I say that this is going to have a serious impact on token economics, this is what I mean. 10,000, each of these validator nodes are going to be required to stake at least 10,000 HNT. Now, when they stake them, they are going to have to lock them and not be able, by locking, I mean, they're not going to be able to move them or sell them or transfer them or burn them. So this is going to reduce the supply of HNT significantly. They will not be able to sell these HNT into the open market. And of course, the sales of large amounts of HNT will lower the price. So we're reducing the supply of HNT through these validators, which is going to have an impact on, or at least we believe will have a somewhat of an impact on the price of HNT. Now you can see here, I'm not going to touch on everything we see, but you can see the earnings here. One of the main reasons why the Helium network is so great is further improved in this validation process And that can be seen right here where it says if a validator is offline or isn't up to date, it will be penalized and earn fewer rewards. This is what we call incentivizing high performance and efficiency. Now, these validators are putting a lot of money and a lot of investment into this staking program, and they are not going to want to be penalized. They're going to want to earn as much HNT and stake as much HNT as possible. So this further improves the incentive structure of the Helium network, which is going to further improve the efficiency and the performance of the blockchain and of the network. And you can see here, they do have to go through a withdrawal process in order to unlock and withdraw the staked HNT from their validator node. Now, down here, you can see that there are two ways to stake. One of them being you can do it yourself and you can purchase 10,000 HNT and do it yourself. And that will require not only purchasing the HNT, but you will also have to purchase a lot of expensive equipment and virtual services to provide adequate performance for that validator node, because like I said, they need to have a higher processing level than standard miners, because they need to aggregate it all, agree amongst each other, and then distribute it much faster than it's happening right now. And that is why the efficiency is going to increase so much. Now, of course, if you have under 10,000 HNT, you can look to some independent staking providers, which are located here, which we'll take a look at right now. So as you can see here, there are some staking providers. Helium on their website does mention you do this at your own risk. They do clearly mention that listing does not equal endorsement or recommendation. So please do your own research. If you're looking to stake your HNT and you're not looking to do it yourself, you can contact one of these staking providers, send them your HNT to their pool, and collect interest, if you will. Some will call it interest, some will call it just extra HNT earnings. But there is a way to stake your HNT if you have less than 10,000. I will put this link in the description below. I will also put all the other links in this video in the description below. Now, a lot of people were skeptical of the adoption of these validator nodes and the staking, and the success of the validator nodes and the staking are inhibiting the next step in the process, which is the mainnet. However, if we look here on Twitter, we'll see that in less than 7 hours, the threshold of 100 validators has been met for mainnet. So this is a testament to the adoption. You can see here, the network needs 100 validators, 1 million HNT to be staked to launch on mainnet. As you can see, 100 capacity is already filled, and we actually have 1,850,000 HNT staked right this second, which is unbelievable. Less than 24 hours, we blew away the threshold, and we'll be moving to mainnet, which is really great. We'll be making videos on what that entails in the future. Now, there are a few different places to find frequently asked questions, one of them being directly on the Helium website here at the bottom. I'm going to touch on some of the ones that I think are most important for you guys. Now, a lot of people are concerned or interested in the earnings power of these validator pools. So you can see here the validator pool is allocated 6% of the overall HNT for the consensus group work. For an individual validator, it depends on the number of validators in the pool and how often a validator is chosen by the network to participate in the consensus group. And they give you a little bit more detail here, but as you can see, 6% is the magic number here. And as you can see, if you are interested in starting your own validator node, there is no advantage to staking more than 10,000 HNT per validator node. However, you can have more than one validator node. So if you have 20,000 or increments of 10,000, you can have multiple validator nodes. Now, this is part of the reason why a lot of this milestone is so huge, not only for the network, the performance, the efficiency, the token economics, but this is going to draw larger investors into this space, because now they can earn almost what some would call an interest rate on their HNT. A lot of these big firms have the capital, have the resources to open these validator nodes or open multiple validator nodes and earn a higher interest rather than just the increase in price of HNT. So this is going to draw a lot more attention, a lot more big money into Helium and into this space. and it is going to further and further drive the performance and efficiency of the network through the incentive structure. Now, a lot of people, here's another frequently asked questions section on the Helium blog. A lot of people are curious about when the validators get their rewards. It is made very clear here there is no rewards distribution lockup. After staking, validators elected into the consensus group immediately receive rewards at the end of that epoch. Now, here on GitHub, there is a very clear explanation to the motivation and the reasoning behind these validator nodes. And in the first sentence, it is very clear. At the current growth rate, running block production directly on the hotspot network is rapidly becoming unsustainable. That is why this is so huge, because now the scaling that we needed and the scaling that is happening, we're at over 66,000 hotspots right now, which is unbelievable. But the scaling that is happening already is not sustainable on the hotspot network the way it is. We need these validator nodes to increase the scalability of the network, and with that scalability will come the performance and the efficiency. As you can see here, it says gossip network usage grows linearly with the size of the network, and slow addressing updates are a common cause of long block interval times. So it needs the stronger processing power to address the slowness and the long block interval times that are currently happening on the network. You could see here legacy hardware power and size also puts sharp limits on the size of the group and hence its security. Now, a lot of people, as you can see by the first two questions here, are very concerned about how these validators will impact their earnings on their current hotspots that are up and running. And I think between these two questions, it really gets the answer through. So the first question is, how will validators impact existing hotspot owner rewards? And it goes further to answer the question. It says, in the current proposal, validator nodes will earn 6% rewards for the consensus group participation. This is the same percentage that hotspots gateways currently earn for performing the same work. So it's saying that there is no huge difference. It's just that 6% is going now to the validator nodes. And the second question addresses it a little bit more directly and says, does this mean as a hotspot owner, I'm losing out of those 6% rewards? Now, the answer here, technically, yes, but practically, it is increasingly unlikely your hotspot would have been chosen among the 16 out of the entire pool of hotspots. With the current pool, there's a 0.034% chance, and this percentage decreases as the network continues to grow. So technically, yes, there is that 6%, but it's very, very unlikely that you would be the one receiving that 6% anyway. So for the majority of people, there really isn't going to be a significant or noticeable impact in the HNT earnings. And it's also important, they don't include it here, obviously, because this is technically focused, but even if you do earn, let's call it 1%, 2%, or 3% fewer rewards with these validator nodes being here, we have to remember that the network is far superior to how it was performing and how secure it was prior to these validators being in the production and on the network. So the price of HNT is going to be reflected in that increased in security and performance. It is going to be a more desirable network to be a part of with these validators here. So even if you do lose out on a few HNT per month, the price of the HNT is expected to increase to such an amount that it will more than offset the decrease in HNT earnings. Now, a few of the unanswered questions we can see here is, I think the most important one is, what are the most desirable evolutions for this feature that are too complicated for the initial version? So I think this is a hugely important question, and I am very interested in it because I am interested in how the Helium developers and the Helium team think that this validator network can further be improved. And I think some of the ways that it can be improved that they might just not be committed to yet is maybe they'll change the number of HNT required to start a validator node. Maybe they will change how overstaking might affect the elections and the rewards. These are a few of the things that maybe can change as we move going forward, but we just don't know the answers to yet, and I'm sure they are watching very closely to see how improvements can be made. Of course, there's always room for improvement, as we've seen day in and day out, week in and week out. with the Helium team and the Helium network. Now, with all of this news happening, all of this, these milestones being broken, and then immediately following, 7 hours after the validators go live, meeting the threshold for the mainnet, you would expect some more, at least I would expect more price movement in the HNT coin. However, we're not really seeing that. We're seeing it still perform rather in line with the larger crypto space. Now, HNT has been hanging around in the upper 60s recently. We are seeing it now back at 65, where 65 is actually the best rank by market cap. I think I might have seen 64 at one point a few weeks ago when it was at all-time highs. But we are seeing 65, an increase from, I think, the 69 we were seeing a few days ago. So it is performing or outperforming slightly its peer group. However, with all this news, I still would have expected some larger price action, some independent price action out of HNT, especially with reaching the mainnet threshold after just 7 hours and staking nearly almost 2 million HNT already. With that being said, I do think that proposes, I think it just is going to take some time, and it is currently overshadowed by the larger crypto network, the larger crypto market. However, I am very optimistic. I think this is it. Like I said in the beginning, I think this is maybe the largest milestone that Helium has hit since inception. It's absolutely awesome to see. The network is going to significantly improve in performance and efficiency, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it. And I can't wait to see how it works and the improvements that are made on top of what they've already done. But I'll leave you guys here. I will make some more videos on this validator nodes, how it's going to affect price, how it's going to affect performance, all of that sort of stuff. This is just a real general overview to get the word out with this milestone being hit. So guys, I hope you found this helpful. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. Thanks for being here. I will see you next video.